Alright, welcome. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. Today I'm going to be going over the trade that I took on January 29th, 2025. And to begin today, I want to go on the daily time frame. So based on this daily candle here that we created on Tuesday, I was anticipating for us to take out previous day high, right? So if you guys just take a look at this daily candle, you guys can, the bare minimum that we can anticipate for this daily candle is for previous day high to be taken, right? And why else should we be continuing higher? Well, let's take a look at how we created this daily fair value gap, right? So from this candle's swing low to the third candle's, or I guess previous day's high, there was a fair value gap, right? And notice how we created this fair value gap. We closed yesterday here. I'll denote that by the blue line. And yesterday's, or I guess the second fair value gap's candle's low is here. So notice how we closed, how the blue line is above the green line. With the way that we closed here and the way that we created this fair value gap, this indicates to me that this fair value gap on the daily time frame is most likely going to be rebalanced. So my daily bias coming into today was for us to take out previous day high and to rebalance the daily inefficiency. So with that in mind, I let prices do its thing, right? And we ended up taking out previous day high. And we took out previous day high during the London session / Asian session. So I no longer had a daily bias, right? So notice how after we rebalance this inefficiency, after we take out previous day high, I didn't want to use the daily time frame anymore as a higher time frame objective, right? I didn't want to go onto the daily time for for some sort of bias. So coming into the morning of January 29th, I wanted to use the intraday time frames, such as the 4-hour, the 6-hour, or the 8-hour / 10-hour time frame for a higher time frame objective. So higher time frame objective is fractal, right? Meaning any candle can have, or the basis behind every single candle having a objective, or I guess you can use any time frame for your higher time frame objective, is because that every single candle has a objective, right? There is this ICT quote that he states, if you're able to view a 4-hour candle as a daily candle, your world's going to open up. So essentially when ICT states that, or what he means by that is that every single candle has an objective, right? Like this 4-hour candle, its objective is for us to take out its 4-hour candle's low. That's an objective. And if you're able to apply those concepts to every single time frame, daily time frame, 4-hour time frame, 15-minute time frame, even weekly time frame or monthly time frame, every single time frame has an objective. So like I said, going into the morning session here, I wanted to rely on the intraday time frames. So the 4-hour candle here, initially, if you guys were paying attention to my stream, I told you guys that my morning objective, right, was for us to take out this 4-hour candle's low and this 8-hour candle's low. And as you guys, if you guys were tuning in, you guys would have noticed that I didn't take a trade here because there was, even though I knew what the higher time frame objective was, I didn't have a model, or I didn't have a entry pattern. So some of the components that I looked for a trade wasn't present. So I just had to sit on my hands and basically spectate on the sidelines. But going into the trade that I took today was based on how we closed here on the 6-hour time frame. So notice how we closed here on the 6-hour candle, right? This 6-hour candle to me is suggesting to me that we're most likely going to take out this 6-hour candle's low, denoted by the red line, right? And it's just purely based off of like just the way that this candle's created. The next 6-hour candle, I can anticipate for at least the next 6-hour candle, to take out this 6-hour candle's low. That's the bare minimum, right? So for me, my objective here was my objective was for us to take out the 6-hour candle's low within the next 6 hours, right? So for me to align myself with this, I guess, order flow, I went onto the hourly time frame for some sort of model, right? So my model here was based off of how we closed here on this hourly time frame. So this hourly candle here, so notice how the 6-hour time frame is suggesting lower prices. So now I have to align myself with that 6-hour order flow. And notice how this hourly candle is created. Very, very bearish hourly candle. So this is its hourly high, or I'm sorry, hourly low, and I'll denote that by a green line. Its hourly high, I'll denote that by a blue line. And this is where we closed here. And the closing price, I'll do that with a purple line. So is the purple line closer to the green line or the blue line? That's literally all I'm doing for some sort of objective, right? The purple line is closer to the green line, which means that we're most likely going to take out the hourly low. That's my bare minimum target, right? So now that I have a higher time frame objective, I have a model, I have to go try to find an entry pattern, right? So for me, to take this model here, I notice, hey, so this hourly low is the same low as the 30-minute low. And not only is it the same as the 30-minute low, but it's the same as this 50-minute low. So I can actually scope into the 50-minute time frame as my model. Because the 50-minute candle's low is the same low as the hourly low, I can anticipate for us to complete the hourly objective within the next 50 minutes, right? So now that my model here is based on the 50-minute time frame, I can actually go onto the sub 5-minute time frames for an entry pattern. The 5-minute, the 4-minute, the 3-minute, the 2-minute, or the 1-minute for my entry pattern. So going into the 1-minute time frame, there is this 1-minute fair value gap. And it's a fair value gap that could be rebalanced, right? So once we open up here at 1 o'clock, this was where we open. Notice how I am selling above the opening price, right? Because I'm anticipating that next 15-minute candle to take out this 15-minute candle's low here. That means the next 15-minute candle, I'm anticipating to be a open, high, low, and a close. I want to be a part of, if you're anticipating, I guess, an up close candle, or in this case, a down close candle, you want to be a seller above the opening price. That's the same concept as selling above the midnight opening price, or buying below the midnight opening price. And if you, like I said, if price is fractal, if time is fractal, you should be able to apply those concepts to every single time frame, which is what I'm doing here. So the 15-minute time frame, I sold above the 15-minute open. I'm entering off of a fair value gap, and a fair value gap indicates to me that there's strength in the markets and it wants to continue lower. So as soon as we open up here at 1 o'clock, we spike up into that 1-minute fair value gap. I have my entry there. My stop loss is at the fair value gap high, and my target, my first initial target here, is this 15-minute low, because that's my model's objective, right? So after we complete the 15-minute objective. I moved my stops to break even, and my target here is that 6-hour low. So going back to the 6-hour time frame, like I said, this is my higher time frame objective, right? I want to see us expand lower after we take out the hourly / 30-minute / 15-minute low to attack the 6-hour low. So this model is considered an expansion model. We should expand lower after completing the hourly low or the hourly objective to complete the 6-hour order flow. And yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure if, I'm positive we didn't have news at 1 p.m. But for some reason, this was a really large candle of, we went from, let's see here. We went from, I don't know why it's not. We went from, that was a 65 point move, 1 minute candle. That's a lot of range for a 1 minute candle. I'm not too sure what caused that because we didn't have news here at 1 p.m. So, yeah, I don't know. But, like I said, I was able to execute on my strategy. I had a higher time frame objective. I had a model, and I had an entry pattern. All of those criteria got met, right? And all I did was press the button, and we ended up playing. The trade ended up playing pretty well. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. And until next time, be safe.